Snitches get stitches. You ever heard that? You ever heard that phrase? I'm sure you have. At some point or another, somebody's spouted that to you. Snitches get stitches. Ain't no snitch. Ain't no snitch around here. Guys, you know the first people to snitch are usually the ones who say stuff like that all the time. Did you know that? Yeah. Yeah, in reality, guys, a lot of times the first people who are to talk about how tough they are or how they won't snitch or they're your buddy, they're your brother, you guys are so close. The ones that do that, they're the first ones to roll. They're soft as a cookie. In reality, the people who say that kind of stuff all the time are the police. What? Yeah, we're going to talk about snitches today, guys. Guys, did you know that there are professional snitches? There are people who are compensated by the police. Now, I say the word compensated. I don't want to say paid. You know why? Because there are people who get in trouble with the law, and the law will work a deal with them. And they'll say, you know what? Why don't we put you back on the street? We'll only bring you into jail on the weekends or on certain days of the week. But on the rest of the time, we'll put you back on the street. You go out and hang out with your buddies, and we want you to give us information about what they're doing. Who's doing it, what they're doing, what they're getting. Oh, yeah. And if you're in a town that's crooked enough, these same people who are these snitches will also be drug suppliers. Oh, yeah. Runs deep, doesn't it? Yeah, there are people who will actually bring the thing to get people in trouble. And then they'll film people doing it. And use it as leverage for blackmail. It's kind of a gray area, right? Because it's like evidence illegally obtained is dismissible. So there's only so much they can do with it. But they'll definitely have knowledge. And in the area of blackmail, that's usually a legal game anyway, so it's not like they're caring about legalities in that kind of arena, are they? But yeah, they call them CIs, confidential informants. Now, they don't have to be people that are in trouble with the law. They could be your regular shop owner. Let's say an undercover cop might know that you frequent a place. They'll go to that shop owner and be like, hey, I'm working a job with this pert. Why don't you let me know when they come by? What kind of stuff they're getting? I'll pay you. Those people they probably pay. They probably compensate them with some kind of gift card or something. Sometimes they use money. But you'd be surprised, guys. You'd be surprised. And these folks will have some really good backstories, too. They'll be good at spinning a tale, weaving some yarn. Woo! They'll have some clever ones. They'll be rapper SoundCloud. They'll tell you they're from Compton. All kind. They'll come up with all kind of backstories. And they'll be believable, too, because you gotta remember, you're dealing with actors. Liars. Now, this is also going to tie back in with a lesson I said earlier where it's your choice. You know, none of these folks make you do anything you shouldn't do. Right? But there are people out there that like to set people up. It's their job to set people up. It's their job to set up people who are gifted up. Because another thing you'll notice too, when you start to actually uncover this area of truth, when you when you lift this stone up and see the spiders and the bugs underneath it, these people will be in a gray area of the law. They'll be allowed to operate the way they do to an extent, to catch and get info on others. Yep. And, of course, a lot of these boys will be involved in the you-know-what club in some way. Usually their folks will be in it in a way. There are branches, there are arms of these clubs that operate in the trade of trafficking, human trafficking, drug trafficking, sex trafficking. Yeah, trafficking is it's a very broad spectrum. There's a lot of things you can traffic. And there's one prime contractor that does the work for most of it. It's a great one. A grand one with a capital G. So yeah, snitches get stitches, said the snitch.